Hello, everyone. Today is November 23rd, 2021. Do you remember that? We have had a treasure way for last three classes through the internet. And have you still remember what we have learned last 3 days and the destination where we learn? And who is the partner with us? Yes, the first class we know that a place called a treasure island of the intangible cultural heritage. And the second class we know cultural communication, a legend in my nation. And next, the third class, the code or patterns of Lee brocade embroidery. Wow, this all sounds like very, very, very mysterious and exciting, right? Because it's treasure way. And it's very beautiful clothes, right? Maybe it's too expensive too. And what is the next step we will do and we will learn? Please listen to our story right now. Once upon a time, there was a lovely puppy. Do you remember this puppy? Last three class we have learned it with the puppy. But she had an enchantment upon her, so she lost her memory. And we try our best to help her to find it back by those lovely stories. So today we are going to learn the fourth class. Look at this title. Bowl-shaped house of the Li people. Traditional dwelling for the Li ethnic group. Do you find it the key words? Yes, bowl-shaped house. I want to remember. And we are today class lecturer. Hello, I'm Cao Zihan.
Hello, I'm Song Pengming.
So let's go to start this class. And section 1. How to make a bowl-shaped house for the puppy. Light is coming. After figuring out her new clothes, look at these clothes and her haircut. The puppy wants to relax. She is very tired. But all she has is a boat. So, will she live in the past? And what can she do now? Can you guys help her with the boat? Please write down your ideas in your paper and I will give you some seconds. Ding ding ding. Time's up. I believe all you guys remember the keywords right? Bowl-shaped house. And how about the puppy do? Let's see how the little puppy to solve this problem. So, the section 2, a legend or bowl-shaped house of the Li people. Hmm? Somebody is coming now.
Hello, I'm Fu from Baicha village. I can help you. Our ancestor created a special house which is made by a boat.
What? A boat-shaped house of the Li people? How did your ancestors build houses? I know we can learn the boat-shaped house, but how to make it is unbelievable.
Okay, here is a beautiful legend about the formation of Bochip's house. First, let's look at the picture on the right, on the left. Obviously, the main character of the story is called Princess Danya. So, what is the story about? What's the relationship between Princess Danya and the boat ship's house? Do you want to know that? So let's listen to the story, and here we go.
In ancient times, Hainan Island was uninhabited. When Dayu ruled the world, there was a country called Li. The king had a daughter named Princess Danya. She married 3 husbands, but they all died. The maid said that she came down to earth as a broom star, broke down at home, and died in the country. For a moment, it made the whole city stormy and people panicked. Everyone begged for the execution of Princess Danya. But at this time, Princess Danya was already pregnant. The king could not bear to start, so he prepared a small boat without rudder and oar and some wine and food, a mountain knife and 3 kilograms of green seeds in the early morning of the north wind, and put Princess Danya on the boat. Princess Danya's little yellow dog also followed the boat. The boat drifted into the vast sea in the wind. Nobody knew how long it took. Princess Danya's boat, which had suffered all kinds of disasters, ran aground on the shore of a desert island. She saw the high mountains in the distance and groups of monkeys walking through the forest carefree. All the melancholy and fear disappeared at once. After feasting on rabbits and bird eggs, Princess Danya settled down on the desert island. In order to avoid the wind and rain and prevent the invasion of wild animals, Princess Danya erected several wooden stakes on the beach, then buckled the boat on the wooden stakes as the roof, cut thatch and surrounded it, so she had her own home. During the day, she took the little yellow dog up the mountain to hunt wild animals and collect wild fruits. Sleeping in the boathouse at night, the little yellow dog faithfully guarded the door. Later, the boat board was rotten, and she cut down the thatch to cover the roof. This is the prototype of the boathouse inhabited by the Li people. Later, the princess gave birth to a boy. When the boy grew up, he went through all kinds of hardships and combined with a fairy. They lived a slash and burn life with the boat-shaped house of the Li people as their residence. They multiplied from generation to generation on the isolated island, now Hainan Island. In order to commemorate their ancestors who sailed across the sea to settle on Hainan Island, the Li people built boat-shaped house of the Li peoples according to the shape of wooden boats.
Wow, what a romantic story. Maybe it sounds like a tragedy first, also means a sad start. Because a father, as well as a king, must kill his daughter for his people. But nothing is impossible, right? Everything do not have only one way to go. So the Princess Danya had a second choice or opportunity to find a new world where she could live with her son happily and safely. What's more important, she even created a new style of house with a boat. It is our today's keyword, right? A boat-shaped house. And she even set a foundation of Li ethnic group. Wow, I like the positive life attitude of Princess Danya. However, I also very curious about the boat-shaped house. How to make a boat into a house? So, what does boat-shaped house look like? Let's come and to see it.
Okay. This is a typical structure of a boat-shaped house for the Yi people. Let's look at the two pictures showed on the left. So the upper one is the appearance of a boat-shaped house. Does it look like a boat? Right. Okay, then let's move to the lower one. Actually, if you stand in a high place, you can get the same vision with the lower picture. It actually shows the inside structure of a boat-shaped house. Let's say there are several rooms in the boat-shaped house. The larger one may be the living room, and the smaller one, it might be bathroom or kitchen or something else. And we also have different styles for boat-shaped houses. If you are single, you can build a small one with just one bedroom and a hovel. Let's say the picture showed on the right. Look at the little cute house. It's quite small, but just enough for one person. But if you live in a large family, you may need a larger one with several bedrooms, a hovel, a kitchen, a living room, and so on and so forth. Maybe you also want to keep some animals like chickens. Do you like chickens? So if you want to keep chickens, you can also consider to build a hen house. And since you want to keep animals, maybe you have to live a little bit higher. You can raise the house 16 to 18 meters above the ground. So let's look at the picture shown on the screen. This kind of boat-shaped house have two floors. The upper one is for people to live, and the lower one is for animals. But if you don't want to keep any animals, then just 0.7 to 1 meter is enough. So we also have other types of boat-shaped houses. As time goes by, the boat-shaped house of the Li people become close to the ground. So let's say those pictures, they are quite close to the ground, which is quite different from the prior to boat-shaped houses. And the external image has no overhead floor as well. So by now, we have in total 4 types of boat-shaped house. They are elevated boat-shaped house, close to the ground boat-shaped house, low frame boat-shaped house, as well as half boat-shaped house. They have different structures and functions. You can just choose the type of boat-shaped house you like. So by now, I believe all of you have already got an overview on boat-shaped house. So let's move to the session.
After we learn something about the types of boat-shaped house, elevated, no frame, close to the ground, and half. Can you get there must have some features in common of 4 types of boat-shaped house? So, section 3, we are going to learn the analysis of course of boat-shaped house of the Li people in construction. And look at this word, construction. It is a keyword in this section. It means the process or method of building or making something, especially roads, buildings, bridges, and etc. Look at the first paragraph. In the shape composition of the boat-shaped house, the rule of the canopy roof is very important. Canopy means cover this house. And look at this roof. It looks like a boat, right? And what is the roof for? It protects people from the wind and rain. You know, Hainan is an island near the ocean. It's a tropical mussel climate, which means it experiences much wind and rain very often. And the roof is also affect the understanding of the ancestors of the Li ethnic group to a certain extent. Also, the absence of windows is a feature of the visual image of the bowl-shaped house. You can see the picture. Maybe you say there is a hole, right? But in fact, there is no window in the past. And you can see a grandpa playing something in front of the bowl-shaped house. This is yehu. It is a kind of musical instrument. And ye means coconut in Chinese. It's a very special instrument. If you are interested in it, we will put some videos in the end of the class so you can enjoy it. And next, due to the lack of a complete religious system in this society, the religions means people's belief of the god or goddess. And religious superstition is less reflected in architectural modeling and decoration. So the shape of the house is very simple with no directions. You can see the picture. There is no sign or patterns here. So it's very pure and clean. I like this style. The soft curve presented by its visual image is the natural beauty embodied by the structure itself. So, can you summarize the features of bowl-shaped house? First, the roof. The roof is very special because it looks like a boat ride. Second, there is no windows. Third, there is no directions. Yes, can you remember it? And we are going to follow a tourism blogger to see the boat-shaped house of Baicha village. Let's go.
好，现在我就进入了海南省东方市江边乡的白茶村。那这个就是白茶黎族村了。这里居住的村民呢都是黎族。这种船型屋呢已经被列入了国家非物质文化遗产了。那现在我在那个白茶黎族村呢，遇到这位小哥哥。这小哥哥，请问贵姓？
姓符，
符，
符号的符，
符号的符。你应该也是黎族吧？是黎族，也就祖祖辈辈都是在这个村里面吧？
对，
这很有特色。哎，我想问一下，我想了解一下这个黎族，那个船型屋啊，它这里总共有多少座那个黎族那种屋子？船型屋
保存的比较完整的话，就有81间。
你可以跟我说，它最特别的地方在什么地方吗？
它主要最特别的还是它这个，就他们这屋顶，
屋顶是这个船型的一样的，
就是以前我们就从外面过来，然后去打鱼，碰到下雨的时候，他就把那个船翻过来，
就把它翻过来，
后面就把我们出来就把这个房子变成那个跟那船型差不多
是有这种历史啊，反正很特别，我就感觉到非常特别，专门过来这里看这个船型屋。你看这个墙呢也是稻草和泥巴这样混合成，那屋顶呢就是那种稻草了，往下垂，几乎垂到地面了。你看每一家的屋顶呢，那些稻草呢几乎盖到地面了，像一座船的船底一样，所以呢它也叫船型屋。现在我走进去看一下，看看有什么特别之处啊。那房子里面就很简单，就有一堵墙，把它一分为二。那里面的房子有讲究了，你看它有3个梁，这是1根、2根、3根。这3根那个屋梁呢，黎族话里面叫歌额，用当地的土语呢，歌额呢就象征着男人。然后这里还有6根那个柱子，那这是1根、2根、3根、4根、5根、6根。这6根柱子呢，用黎族话的土语呢叫歌定。那歌定呢又象征着女人，也就是说这个一家子呢有男人和女人来组成。走进那个白茶村村落，非常有意思。这个船型屋呢，一个一个屋子像个船的造型一样的，它是黎族的祖先呀，他们祖祖辈辈在这生活的时候，他们建造的房子，这里保护得非常好。走进里面去看，一看究竟，看到了里面很多很有意思的一些东西啊。这种房子已经没有人居住了也没有人管理的有人管理。你看我要猫着腰进去不进了，进不去了。看到了这种船型屋呢，已经在别的地方已经找不到，所以呢，这里也是黎族最后的古村落。这回来海南，更大的收获是，我看到了这个少数民族的村落，看到了他们一些历史的文化的痕迹。
Okay, Okay, just now we have watched a vlog about Bullshit holidays for the ethnic group. Bullshit holidays are interesting, right? They show a special history of the people, presenting the lifestyle for their ancestors. And the inside structure is also interesting, right? Do you remember? The beams and pillars have various meanings, showing the family concept of the ethnic group. But I don't know whether you noticed that those worship holidays are inhabited now. So, are they no longer useful today? Then let's move to the adaptation of worship holidays in modern society. Let's talk about the adaptation of worship house in modern society. So first, let's continue our story of the little puppy. After knowing the Bullship's house, the little puppy is so excited. She sighed,
Oh, ship dwellings are awesome. Are you still living in them?
but the little girl told her, "Nope, we are now living in buildings because they are more convenient."
Oh. How people use this bullshit house today?
So, do you have the same question with the little puppy? Okay, then let's talk about how bullshit holidays are used in today's society. Here we give you two examples. First is the bullshit dwellings themed guest holidays in Lingshui Autonomous County. So let's first see the picture on the right. The beautiful building is actually a hotel, but different from other hotels. It looks like the Bullship's house for the people. Actually, those guest holidays are rebuilt by modern architectural materials and techniques. Inside those holidays, there are advanced facilities to satisfy modern people's life. So you can live in comfortably. I think living in these guest holidays is an unforgettable experience because you can just imagine yourself as the people who live in the Bullship's house. It's quite interesting, isn't it? Second is the Bullship dwellings themed tourist attraction. The one of the most typical example is the Baicha village, the village we introduced before. It's actually a traditional village of bullshit dwellings. But those holidays are not for living anymore. Instead, they are for the visiting purpose. You can just come to the village to see and take photos to those bullshit holidays. Okay, we talk about the adaptation of bullshit holidays in modern society, and we know that they are still useful for humans. But why? Why are they still important for us, even though they have already lost their original function? Please think about this question and what's your idea? Okay, then please let me tell you the answer. That's because they have special cultural characters and values behind the dwellings and their functions. They are not just buildings or shelters. They are also memorized for humans. So, what are the cultural characters of worship holidays for the ethnic group? Let's have a look. First, they show the primordial custom of the progenitors. The word primordial is the meaning of original, something appearing early and existing for a long time. And in this context, you can just consider it as traditional. And the word progenitor means ancestor. So, do you remember the vlog? The speaker said that the beings of worship holidays means men and the pillars means women. So that's the example of the character. And second, they present how traditional concepts influence lifestyle. The traditional customs can not only influence the structure and function of dwellings, but also they can influence the lifestyle of the people living inside. And third, the worship holidays actually satisfy the psychological demand of the ancestors. Because originally, the ancestor of the people lived in boats over the river. But after they moved to land, they still built holidays like boats so that they could get a sense of safety. And finally, they emphasize the adaptation between structure and technology. We know that in early time, the architectural tools and technique is quite low, but people were smart. They can use such simple tools and materials to build shelters or accommodations for themselves. And since the technology is it's not developed, the structure is quite simple, but adapting the physical environment. Just the roofs of worship house is covered, is dropping and cover the ground so that rains cannot aggregate on the roads. And so by knowing the cultural characters of worship holidays, do you feel it is more interesting? We also know that there are many interesting traditional dwellings in Russia as well. And here we just give you some examples, like this house made by wood, and this house and this. Why are they built like this? Of course, you know those holidays better than ours, and actually, the traditional dwellings all carry the life vision of the original residents. So we are now give you a thinking question: how the traditional dwellings shows the vision of residents? Please think about it, and this question will be included in the cross-cultural communication section later. The cross-cultural communication session is supported to be conducted in 30 minutes later, and we are looking forward to see you online. So ending our today's lecture, please let me give you a brief summary. Today, we are mainly talk about the worship holidays for the ethnic group, and we first listen to a beautiful legend about the worship house. Do you remember it? The story about Princess Danya. And second, we talk about different types and features of worship halls, such as the 4 types of worship holidays. Can you recall them? And then we talk about how worship holidays adapt to the society. And finally, is the cultural character of worship halls. And please do not forget to think about the thinking question we provide for you. And we are looking forward to hear your own idea in the cross-cultural communication section. And that's the end of our today's lecture. Thank you and bye-bye.